You remember this? Well, we got more in-depth research on this one. Remember I did a story about a month ago about an officer that was Suburban in Chicago that tasered a teenager and shot a 14-year-old boy over supposed alleged broken window complaints? Yeah, well, we got more in-depth into this.
Complaint that led to a 14-year-old boy being shot by a police officer. But before being shot, the teen had been repeatedly tasered, the intense pain causing the teen to run. Investigators reveal a disturbing trend of who officers are more likely to use tasers on.
My man, I'm going to tell you something here.
The 14-year-old boy scratching his head and the girl next to him are being questioned by Sauk Village police about a broken window.
Do me a favor, keep your hands out of your pockets, bro. Just keep your hands out of your pockets.
We're coming out here to see friends.
You're coming out here to see friends? Okay.
Watch as things escalate quickly.
Put your hands behind your back.
Why are you touching me?
Because you're under arrest.
The teen doesn't know it yet, but he's about to get shocked repeatedly with an electroshock weapon. A taser like this, delivering voltage and an electrical discharge, causing an immense amount of pain.
This kid did not deserve what they dished out.
Bettina Washington is the boy's legal guardian, who she calls her son.
Do you understand me? Put your hands behind your back.
We showed her body camera footage.
Put your hands behind your back now, or I'm going to tase you. Do you hear me?
That had been kept secret for a year and a half.
Do you hear me?
Don't worry about it. And you're going to get charged.
Put your hand.
A chilling sound that lasts for 11 seconds.
Why did he do that?
While being shocked by the taser, the teen runs.
Lisa Thoreau has studied the misuse of tasers on children around the country as director of the nonprofit Strategies for Youth.
Each time I see something like this, after doing this for so long, I am still outraged, terrified, and revolted. I feel for this kid.
Her organization works with law enforcement.
I mean, I don't get it. What gives the right for police officers to tase underage children? I mean, that's a fucking child right there. That's a child. That's 14 years old. That's underage. I mean, you got kids out there and they're still not fully developed, for God's sake. 14-year-old boy. I mean, you don't do that. I mean, come on, that's not like shit like that. It's worse. I mean, you got cops like that have no problem, treating underage children like criminals. It's fucked up. And this is coming from Chicago.
And kids by helping to create policies and training programs to avoid situations like this.
This is what I call use of force for officer expedience. No, that is not why you use force with anybody. You don't do it so that you can punish or cause them pain. You don't do it to subjugate them and teach them their place. You don't do it because you don't feel like running.
There are two settings for Officer Seth Brown's taser. One setting shoots darts like this connected to wires, penetrating skin to immobilize a person. The other setting is called drive stun mode. The device is directly pressed against the person like a cattle prod. You can see Brown pressing his into the teen's clothing.
He said it felt like he was getting electrocuted.
And to do the drive stun mode, even though it was through the young man's clothes, is especially bothersome because that is done to cause pain. Pain compliance and the use of pain to get young people to comply is just wrong, especially for a broken window.
Thoreau's nationwide examination of decades of lawsuits involving tasers, also called conducted electrical weapons, found the devices were used on a disproportionate number of children of color and children with disabilities. Bettina Washington says her son fits that description and attends a specialized school.
A 14-year-old, a special needs 14-year-old who has disorders, who do not understand what is going on.
Without understanding the lethal and sometimes long-term terrible consequences of tasers, you're putting a whole lot of kids at risk, and you're not giving officers what they need, which is policies, training, and guidance about the risks of use of this kind of weapon on kids.
Is there any kind of uniformity for taser incidents to be tracked?
Regrettably, there is no uniformity, no consistency in data collection.
Police in Cincinnati are investigated what
She points to other cases of tasers she says were wrongly deployed on children. This 11-year-old girl in Cincinnati suspected of shoplifting, and this 16-year-old in Florida who is simply waiting for his girlfriend at her back door. He falls and smashes his head. Back in Sauk Village, things are about to escalate even more.
He was treated like an animal.
As her son gets away from the taser, he starts to sprint. At this point, his encounter with police becomes nearly fatal, as the other officer, Sergeant Scott Langan, draws his gun from his holster, aims it, and fires, shooting the boy just below his belt on his hip. Fearing he might get shot again, he hid in a nearby yard, bleeding.
They tortured that 14-year-old kid. They tortured him.
He thought they were going to kill him.
He said he thought they was going to find him and kill him.
When paramedics arrived, the 8th grader came out of hiding for medical help and was taken to a hospital. Days later, Sergeant Langan told officials investigating Langan's actions that the shooting was an accident, and he thought he was firing his taser.
He had to live with those bruises from getting tased the rest of his life. The gunshot wound. He had to live with that.
Bettina Washington is upset to learn that neither of the officers were charged for their roles in injuring the teen. She's also upset to learn a disciplinary investigation into the incident didn't even begin until last month, a year and a half after the teen was tasered and shot. We'll stay on it. Dave Savini, CBS.
I mean, that tells you. Yeah, of course, he might get reprimanded, suspended, but he's gonna get a paid vacation. And that tells you, ladies and gentlemen, all that for a freaking lousy property crime. Oh yeah, and cops do this all this shit all the time, and they don't give a fuck. They don't care. They're not here for you. No, they don't give a shit. A police officer's motive is to do his shift and go to his family. They don't give a shit if you live or die. You know, and they get away with the shit because you know why? They got qualified immunity. We need to abolish it.